What's good, y'all? It's Jay Games for real, back with another video. And today we got episode 2 of our 1 hour rebuild challenge. Today we're going to be using the New York Jets. If you haven't seen the last video with the Washington football team, make sure to go watch it. We're 0-1 with our rebuilds. We came close though, so let's see if we can get it today. Alright, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and start the timer right about now. So the first thing we're going to do is check out the team. I'm probably going to trade Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell. Honestly, Le'Veon Bell hasn't been that good for us, for the Jets. Sam Darnold's not that good. We need a right guard and a right tackle. Let's look at defense. Defense is looking good. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. So let's go ahead and stand halfway through the season. Alright, we're at week 7. We are 0-6. So let's go ahead and make some trades real quick, see what we can get. So our first trade, we're going to be trading Le'Veon Bell, a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick for a 1st round pick from the Detroit Lions. Our next trade, we're going to be trading Sam Darnold, a 4th round and a 3rd round from next year for a 1st round pick from the, who was it from? For the Giants. So let's go ahead and send the rest of the season. We're probably not going to make playoffs, but I'm still going to send to the playoffs and see what happens. So here's the team heading into free agency. We need a quarterback, running back, some receivers to help out our O-line a little bit. On defense, we need some outside linebackers and maybe a corner. That's about it. So let's go ahead and hop into free agency. With our first signing, we're going to sign Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. And with our next signing, we're going to attempt to sign Zay Jones, receiver. So yeah. With our next attempt at signing a right guard, Andrew Wiley, I think it was. Yeah, Andrew Wiley. Now we're going to attempt to sign defensive tackle Solo Thomas. And we're also going to attempt to sign defensive tackle Ryan Glasgow. We're also going to attempt to sign left outside linebacker Vic Beasley. We're also going to attempt to sign right outside linebacker Bud Dupree, who could be a big signing for this team. Now we're going to attempt to sign cornerback Mike Hilton. And that's going to be all the free agency signings we're going to try to make for this season. We didn't get Mike Hilton, so we're going to attempt to sign cornerback Janoris Jenkins. So we got all of our signings. Now we're going to go ahead and head into the draft. Here's the team before the draft. I want to attempt to sign a quarterback, a franchise quarterback for later on in the season. Maybe a right tackle, receiver, something to get this offense going. Defense, we don't really need that much on defense, so we're going to mainly focus on offense. Maybe get a free safety, I don't know, but yeah. So with the first pick, we're going to sign Jalen Galloway out of Notre Dame. 79 overall. Hey, let's go. Nice pick. With our second pick, we're going to draft running back Taylor Cleary out of Oklahoma.
The Jets are now on the clock.
With our next pick, we're going to draft defensive tackle Charleston Lamb out of Iowa.
The Jets are now on the clock.
And with this pick, we're going to draft tight end Marcus Hobson out of Clemson.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
With this pick, we're going to draft QB Ethan Lilley out of Vanderbilt.
The Jaguars are now
I'll probably start Ethan Lilley at quarterback this season to get him going. With this pick, we're going to draft another receiver, Pat Campbell out of Notre Dame.
The Jaguars are now on the clock.
So after the draft, here is the team. Rookie running back, rookie receiver. We're going to start a rookie quarterback. On defense, rookie defensive tackle, and that's about it. I forgot about our tight end. But let's go ahead and send halfway through the season, see where we at. So halfway through the season, we are at a record of 3-4. Doing better than last season, but still not great. Let's go ahead and look at the stats. So Ethan Lilley having an okay season. 1,900 yards, 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Rushing wise, our rookie running back Taylor Cleary has 250 rushing yards with 2 touchdowns. Backup has 134 with 3 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Jamison Crowder leading with 535, 8 touchdowns. Jalen Galloway, 471, 7 touchdowns. Zay Jones, 406, 5 touchdowns. On defense, leading in sacks is Bud Dupree with 4.5, tied with Quentin Williams. Behind is Charleston Lamb, and so on and so on. Interception leaders are Marcus May and Pierre Desir with 3, and so on and so on. So yeah, let's go ahead and send to the playoffs. So before we send to the playoffs, we're gonna trade defensive tackle Glasgow, a 5th-round pick, and next year's 4th-round pick for a 1st-round pick from the Patriots. Now let's go ahead and send to the playoffs. So we just got to the playoffs. We didn't make it, but we finished with a record of 7-9, really improving from last season. So let's go ahead and check out the stats for the season. Ethan finished with 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Seems like he got hurt. Jacoby Brissett threw for 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Rushing wise, Taylor Cleary ran for 680 yards, 4 touchdowns, while LaMichael Perrine ran for 289 and 8 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Jamison Crowder finished with 938 yards, 10 touchdowns. Zay Jones finished with 867 and 11 touchdowns. Our tight end finished with 644 and 5 touchdowns. Rookie receiver finished with 567 and 7 touchdowns. Defensive wise, Quentin Williams led the team in sacks with 10, followed by Bud Dupree with 8, followed by Charleston Lamb with 7.5, and so on and so on. Interception wise, Marcus May led the team with 5 interceptions, followed by Brian Poole and Pierre Desir with 4, and so on and so on. So let's go ahead and get to the offseason. So at the start of free agency, here's the team. We need some receivers. Where's our rookie receiver? Oh, he's hurt. Alright, so we need maybe a receiver. That's about it. On defense, we don't need that much. Looking good. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop in free agency. So with our first signing, we're going to attempt to sign receiver Michael Gallup to a deal. With another offer, we're going to attempt to sign left end Josh Sweat. With this attempt to sign a backup strong safety Eric Berry. So let's go ahead and send to see if we got them. So we picked up Quentin Williams' 5th-year option, and we got all of our free agent signings. So let's go ahead and hop into the draft. Before the draft starts, here's the team right here. Probably need a right tackle. That's about it for offense, honestly. Maybe another running back. Maybe not. I don't know. On defense, maybe a left outside linebacker. A corner maybe. We don't really need much. Team's looking okay. We just need to step up, honestly. So let's go ahead and hop into the draft. So with our first pick, we're gonna draft free safety Taylor Black out of Oregon.
The Bills are now.
With this pick, we're gonna draft left outside linebacker J.D. Holly out of Clemson.
The Cardinals are now.
With this pick, we're gonna draft right tackle Luke Harris out of Oklahoma State.
The Saints are now on the clock.
So after the draft, here's the team. We're probably going to start our rookie right tackle, not right outside linebacker. But the offense really hasn't changed at all. And on defense, it really hasn't changed at all. We got left outside linebacker now. And yeah, rookie free safety, but he's 3rd string, so he's probably not going to get any playing time this year. So let's go ahead and get to halfway through the season. So halfway through the season, we're at a 3-3 record. We also have 27 minutes left in the rebuild. So let's go ahead and check the stats out for the season. So Ethan Lilley has thrown 1,500 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Rushing wise, Taylor Cleary has 278 yards and a touchdown. Dexter Williams has 73 yards and a touchdown. Receiving wise, Jamison Crowder has 398 yards with 4 touchdowns. Jalen Galloway has 339 with 2 touchdowns. Tight end Marcus Hobson has 296 with 2 touchdowns. And Michael Gallup has 280 with 3 touchdowns. On defense, leading sacks is Bud Dupree with 3.5, followed by Quentin Williams with 2, J.D. Holly with 1.5, so on and so on. Interception wise, he's leading with interceptions with 2, followed by J.D. Holly with 1, and so on and so on. So let's go ahead and get to the playoffs. So before we get to the playoffs, we're going to trade Bradley McDougal, a 4th round and 3rd round for a 1st round pick. And yeah, the pick was from the Jaguars. So let's go ahead and get to the playoffs. So at the end of the season, we did not make the playoffs. We finished with a 7-9 record again, 1 game behind the Patriots, so barely missing the playoffs. So let's go ahead and look at the stats. Ethan Lilley threw for 4,000 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Rushing wise, Taylor Cleary ran for 724 and 2 touchdowns. He needs to get those touchdowns up. Ethan Lilley, our second best rusher, was 217 and 1 touchdown. Michael P. Ryan with 188, 4 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Jameson Crowder had over 1,000 yards with 12 touchdowns. Michael Gallup had 942 with 9 touchdowns. Jalen Galloway had 928 with 4 touchdowns. Marcus Hobson had 515 with 4 touchdowns. On defense, Quentin Williams led the team with 8 sacks. J.D. Holly followed by 4. Bud Dupree 3.5. So on and so on. Interception wise, C.J. Mosley led with 4, followed by J.D. Holly with 2. A lot of them had 2. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to the off season. Hopefully next season's our year. So yeah, let's get to it. So before we hop into free agency, here's the team. Nothing really needs to change. We need a left guard. That's about it. Defensive wise, here's the defense. Looking nice. Yeah. Maybe sign a corner. That's about it. So let's go ahead and hop into free agency. So with this first sign, we're going to attempt to sign tight end Jake Butt as a backup. With our next free agent signing, we're going to attempt to sign left guard Max I don't know how to pronounce his last name. So yeah, that's what we're going to attempt to sign. Now we're going to attempt to sign left end PJ Hall to a contract. And with the last signing, we're also going to attempt to sign cornerback Gritty Williams. So we got all of our signings. Now let's go ahead and hop into the draft. Before we start the draft, here's the team right here. Not looking so bad. Looking better than what we started with. Let's go ahead and look at the defense. Here's the defense. Not looking bad at all either. Maybe sign a left end, corner, and draft left end and corner. Backup strong safety. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the draft. So with the first pick, we're going to draft George Karithus out of Washington.
The Bills.
Now we're going to draft left end Julian Hancock out of Virginia Tech.
The Rams are now.
With this pick, we're going to draft free safety Ezekiel Bradley out of Auburn.
The Rams are now.
So we have 15 minutes left, but after the draft, here's the team. Nothing changed on offense, but let's go to defense. On defense, we got a rookie free safety. We also got a rookie left end that's going to start. And we got a rookie cornerback. So let's go ahead and get halfway through the season. We have 15 minutes left. Probably enough time for 2 more seasons. So let's go ahead and get into it. I also feel like this is the season we will make the playoffs. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling. So let's go ahead and get to midseason. So halfway through the season, we're at a 5-2 record, leading the division. So let's go ahead and check the stats. Ethan Lilley has 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. He needs to do better than that, but so far we're leading the division, so it's alright. Rushing wise, we have 378 yards from Taylor Cleary with 2 touchdowns. LaMichael P. Ryan with 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Jameson Crowder has 541 yards with 6 touchdowns. Michael Gallup has 539 yards with 2 touchdowns. Jalen Galloway has 520 yards with 4 touchdowns. Marcus Hobson has 279 with 3 touchdowns. And yeah, defensive wise, leading in sacks is Bud Dupree with 4, followed by J.D. Holly with 3, Charleston Lamb with 3, Julian Hancock with 3, so on and so on. Interception wise, here are our 3 leaders: Marcus May, Avery Williams, and Blasson Austin. So let's go ahead and send to the playoffs. So we finished the season 7-8-1 and making the playoffs. We won our division, and let's check out the stats. Ethan Lilley had 45,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions. Rushing wise, Taylor Cleary had 470 yards with 3 touchdowns. LaMichael P. Ryan had 440 yards with 6 touchdowns. Ethan Lilley had 169 with 3 touchdowns. Receiving wise, we had 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. 13 touchdowns for Jamison Crowder, 5 touchdowns for Jalen Galloway, 3 touchdowns for Michael Gallup, 622 yards, and 6 touchdowns for Marcus Hobson. Defensive wise, leading in sacks was Charleston Lamb with 9, followed by J.D. Holly with 6.5, C.J. Mosley, Bud Dupree, Julian Hancock with 6, so on and so on. Interception wise, Avery Williamson, Blusu Austin, and Marcus May had 2 interceptions, but Dupree and Greedy Williams both had 1. So let's go ahead and sim this playoff game. We also have 10 minutes left, so if we don't make playoffs this season, we'll probably have time for one more season. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So we won our first playoff game 31-28 against the Baltimore Ravens. Now we have the 9-7 Jaguars. And we lose 21-13. So we have 9 minutes left. We have to hurry up and get through this off season to try to win a Super Bowl. So let's go ahead and get to it. So before free agency, here's the team, the offense. Let's go ahead and look at the defense. Here's the defense. Honestly, this team I think can win a Super Bowl. We need a middle linebacker, but I honestly think this team can win a Super Bowl. We just have to get the right. We just have to win. That's it. Well, obviously we have to win, but yeah, you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and get to free agency. We're attempting to sign middle linebacker Cole Holcomb to a deal. We're going to sign backup quarterback Nick Mullins. We're also going to attempt to sign halfback J.K. Dobbins to a deal. Because honestly, our running back hasn't been getting it done that much. So yeah. We got all of our signings. Let's go ahead and hop into the draft. So before the draft, here's the team. Here's the offense. Not bad. Our defense. Not bad either. So yeah. Let's go ahead and hop into the draft. So with this pick, we probably don't need one, but we're going to draft one anyway. We're going to draft receiver Xavier Foreman out of Oregon State.
The Cowboys are now on.
So there really wasn't anything special in that draft. So here's the offense. Here's the defense. So yeah, let's go ahead and sim our last season. We have 4 minutes left. So this will definitely be our last season. So hopefully we can win the Super Bowl this year. I have a feeling we will make the playoffs. It's just whether or not we can win those playoff games. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So halfway through the season, we are at a 4-3 record. So let's go ahead and check out the stats. Ethan Lilley has thrown 1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. J.K. Dobbins has 390 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ethan Lilley has 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Jamison Crowder has 400 yards with 3 touchdowns. Jalen Galloway has 400 yards, 5 touchdowns. Michael Gallup has 395 yards, 5 touchdowns. Marcus Hobson has 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. Defensive wise, leading in sacks is J.D. Holly with 4, followed by Charleston Lamb with 3.5, so on and so on. Interception wise, J.D. Holly leads with 3, followed by Basan Austin with 2, followed by Greedy Williams and Cole Holcomb with 1. So honestly, with our record, I'm kind of feeling nervous about this season. I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs. We honestly have to beat the Patriots. That's our only way of making the playoffs. So let's go and hop into it. So at the end of the season, we finished with an 11-5 record, making the playoffs. We finished first in the division, 1 game over the Patriots. There's 1 minute and 58 seconds left, so this is really the last season to make the playoffs. So let's just go ahead and check the stats. So Ethan Lilley finished with 47,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. Rushing wise, J.K. Dobbins finished with 935 yards, 7 touchdowns, while Taylor Cleary finished with 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is really what we needed out of running backs. Taylor Cleary couldn't do it, so we had to sign J.K. Dobbins, and he did a good job at it. Receiving wise, Jamison Crowder had 1,200 yards. We had another season with 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. Damn. So Jamison Crowder had 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Jalen Galloway had 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. Michael Gallup had 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Marcus Hobson had 816 yards, 8 touchdowns, and J.K. Dobbins had 321 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry for messing up names. I'm trying to rush through this so we don't run out of time, even though it's the end of the timer and pretty much this is the last season. But I'm just saying. Defensive-wise, J.D. Holly and Charleston Lamb led the team with 9.5 sacks, followed by Julian Hancock with 6, followed by Bud Dupree, Quentin Williams, so on and so on. Interception-wise, Gritty Williams led with 4, followed by J.D. Holly with 3. And yeah, so let's go ahead and do the playoffs. So our timer is going off. So this is officially the last playoff series right here. This is our final chance to make the Super Bowl. So let's go ahead and sim this first game. We win our first game 33-31 against the Bengals. Now we have the 10-6 Browns. So we're going to go ahead and sim this game, see if we make it to the conference championship. And we lose in the second round again, 28-20 to the Cleveland Browns. So that's going to do it with this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to comment a team that I should do next. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And that's it. Thank you for watching.
Bye.